Get ready for the podcast. I address anything on my mind. On time with the lines and the lyrics rhyme. And you know you can press rewind. Yeah. Get ready for the podcast. I address anything on my mind. On time with the lines and the lyrics rhyme. And you know you can press rewind. Podcast, you can talk what you want to say. Here go the microphone. We can talk all day. I got time to listen to your thoughts. Feedback. Just let the man talk. Get ready for the podcast. I address anything on my mind. On time with the lines and the lyrics rhyme. And you know you can press rewind. Yeah. Get ready for the podcast. I address anything on my mind. On time with the lines and the lyrics rhyme. And you know you can press rewind. Wake up to the howling sounds. That's the wolf speaking now. Press record, not say what you say. You wouldn't want to have it any other way. Get ready for the podcast. I address anything on my mind. On time with the lines and the lyrics rhyme. And you know you can press rewind. Yeah. Get ready for the podcast. I address anything on my mind. On time with the lines and the lyrics rhyme. And you know you can press rewind.
And welcome to the Wolf's Den podcast, a podcast for gamers, to gamers, and about gamers. As you guys can already see here, I have a very special guest with me on this episode. This is episode number 2 here on twitch.tv/Wolf Den podcast. But yeah, I accidentally did not save the VOD, so that's going to be disappearing. So AM in the mornings, and I will definitely have to redo another one of the podcasts. But if you guys are in fact here on the Twitch channel, make sure you guys give it a follow. Also, make sure you guys also subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Wolf's Den Podcast on YouTube. And if you guys are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, anywhere, make sure you guys give us a follow. Thank you guys so much. It is free content for you to listen. It's also free content for you to subscribe and give a follow to the Twitch channel. It would mean a whole lot to me. So let's dive right into my special guest today. He has almost 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he hasn't posted in 4 months. But in a way, the guy is a full-time content creator, being in almost every single Nogame lobby. The guy is a content creator, helping Nogame and doing a whole lot for him and with him, becoming great friends. I couldn't be more excited to actually have a good friend of mine. He is also my off-screen advisor. He has helped me put the channel, the podcast onto all these different listening sites such as Spotify, Apple, Google, you name it. Because of him, we are doing it. He gave me that advice, helped me work through it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome ShadowFlame.
What's going on?
Oh,
Feels good.
man. We're finally here.
About time. Feels good. It feels good.
Yeah, so like we were talking about just before, I didn't realize you had almost 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah, it just, like I said, you get 1 or 2 videos that pop off, and you have to just keep going from the consistency, which I had before, which I've lost now. That's what gets you there.
I mean, I went and took a look. It's like you've only got 52 videos posted.
Yeah.
How did you grow at such an amazing rate like this?
Well, obviously I have Nogame's help for a decent amount of it, but before that it was just post video. If one took off, you post a few afterwards, which keeps the audience there, and then you just promote subscribing and all that as much as possible. You know, you don't want to do it too much because then everything feels fake. It feels like you're just doing it for attention, but you push it just enough so that people will subscribe, people will want to follow you more and just stick around. You just make your videos fun and entertaining at the end of the day. If you're creating content that people want, people will stick around for it.
All right, fair. That might be having to be something that I have to personally myself have to figure out then.
Hey,
So
I'm still figuring it out myself. So
hey, you know what? You're growing at a phenomenal rate. I mean, just on Twitter, you were saying that you actually blew up on Twitter this year around. You know,
yeah, this year I kind of just
so
I, it popped off. It went for a bit of a matters for a few weeks.
okay. So you already know what we're gonna talk about. You already know all the stuff
Mhm.
that we're gonna, kind of talk about, and then there's gonna be things that, they might come up as a question, but you can't get too deep.
Yeah.
So, um, also I did forget to mention at the intro. I just want to put this out there. On my personal channel, I am doing a charity campaign for St. Jude's Children's Hospital this month of September, and I have brought that campaign here to the Wolf's Den podcast. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, a link is going to be down in the description below. And if you guys are listening on all the other sites that just to listen, um, you guys are going to have to try and find where it's at. Personally, you can either go to YouTube, or you can even go to my Twitch channel or the Wolf's Den podcast Twitch channel, and eventually it will pop up in chat. They are on timer, so even if I'm offline, they will still pop up for you guys, just so that way you guys know. Um, if you guys want to know the real story of why I'm doing it, it is highlighted in my personal channel, twitch.tv/Tyler MCD65 _ and that way you guys can see why I chose to do it. All right, let's get back into the business. We are going to talk about ShadowFlame. You were in the UK, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What's it like?
Um,
Because currently it's just past 2 a.m. for you.
it's yeah, it's a weird thing to be doing, because obviously a lot of the friends that I have, thanks to this community, are Americans. So
Yep.
over I'm going to sleep at say 7 in the morning, waking up for 5 p.m., getting on, staying on till about 4 or 5 in the morning, coming off, going to sleep. So it's weird, but you get used to it after a while.
So are you in college or are you still in high school? What
Yeah, I'm in college, second year.
second year of
Uh,
college?
yeah,
Oh
which
my
is
god.
I had to have a lot of sleep before this podcast because obviously this is at 2 a.m. and my college starts at 10. So
Oh
I'm
man.
probably not
Well,
going to sleep in between that,
let's
but
hope
it's what
we
it is.
can get you out of here by 3:30 at the absolute latest.
Nah, I'll stay till 5. It's all right.
Oh God, no. Oh
I
God, no.
can talk all night.
I don't think I can do a 2 hour
Stand me
podcast
on
anymore.
it.
La- Last week's podcast only lasted about an hour and 15 minutes, which was
Nah, but
it was like perfect timing. Perfect. AM in the morning we made it easy. But so growing up in the UK, exactly like what areas of the UK did you grow up?
well, grew up in a place called Rochdale, which is not really. I won't say it's the worst place to grow up in the world, but it's not by any means the best place. It's it, it can be a bit of a dodgy place, but no, it's not bad.
It's not bad at all. So like
Yeah,
could it be like something that, could be sketchy and all that for you?
yeah. If you if you go the wrong places, it's not the best place to be. But no, growing up, here, you learn how to you learn street sense, don't you? And you know, not being funny, people know where to go, not to go in places.
Right.
I mean,
So
there's sketchy places even in the nicest places, so it is what it is.
I mean you've learned, where we're not to go
Yeah,
so that way you don't get stabbed or something and get
yeah,
robbed.
basically. I mean,
Okay, so
it's yeah.
I mean that's always the best thing possible, right? At that point. So we'll just I mean if you I don't really know. Is there what was your like have you been around the UK a whole lot? All over the UK or
You know what? Up north, I've actually been a fair amount around up north. It's just down south that I've not been.
so mostly up
Mhm.
north. Okay, so like where at exactly? Like give me another major city.
Been to York, been all the way up to Scotland. That was fun. Went on a holiday up there. Um, been to can't remember the name of the place now. We just go on like little car journeys every now and again and just have fun.
So you get
Wherever we end up, we end up.
so you and the family would travel a lot and everything like
Yeah, yeah.
that. So, I mean, how did you even get into gaming then? Because I know growing up for me, when I would travel, I wouldn't game as much. And when we stopped traveling because the recession hit, is when I really started to ramp up how much gaming I put in.
I'd say I got in quite young. I mean, I don't remember um doing this, but I did have a Game Boy when I was younger. And I know that because obviously my parents told me about it, but I don't remember doing that. So I'd say the first like major um memory I had of getting into gaming was playing the GameCube around at my grandparents. We'd have
The
the entire family come
GameCube.
round for like nice tea, and then after that we'd all go up and play on that, that was nice.
I miss the GameCube. It was
Amazing
fun.
console, amazing.
So, okay, so what was your favorite game playing on the GameCube then? This will determine how awesome you are.
When I first started, probably Metroid. Metroid was an amazing game to play, and
I never
then
played that one.
GoldenEye,
GoldenEye.
played that. I think it was GoldenEye. It might have been something else, but I'm pretty sure it was GoldenEye.
I don't think I've ever heard of that game.
Nah, you're missing out.
Jesus.
Um, Super Monkey Ball as well, which is getting remastered for the PlayStation 5, and I am definitely going to buy that when it comes out.
Oh, you're gonna
That
absolutely
was
love
the
it.
best game ever.
You're gonna be all over it then. Like,
Oh,
whoa.
I'm gonna stream it and everything. It was amazing.
Okay, so you just said that you're gonna stream it. Do you?
Oh,
So,
100%.
so that's how much you actually love the game.
That game, I'd argue that game got me into gaming.
Okay, okay. You know what? That's fair.
Go on then, what was
Uh,
your favourite? What was the one that you was going to be
so when it
itching for me to say?
so when it came to the GameCube, it was, you know, it was a lot more of the racing game, like
Mm,
those types. I didn't have a specific favorite because I only played that like at a buddy's house, and that was about it. I grew up on PlayStation, but the GameCube was really like the fun aspect of everything. Like
mm,
it was just weird how the controllers were compared to a PlayStation or an Xbox, but it was
yeah,
just even like the Nintendo 60. Mario Kart was the greatest.
Mario Kart is an amazing game.
It is. It really is. But all right, so you grew up in the UK, played video games, and you traveled a lot. Did you play any sports?
When I was very young, no. But as I got to probably, I'd say about 9-ish, that's when I started getting into football. About 8, 9-ish, I'd say, I think it was. Is
Eight,
when I really
nine.
started like getting into playing sports. I'd watched sports before that, but I'd never play sports because they just didn't interest me enough to play them. But then I'd probably say it must have been about 8, 9-ish is when I started wanting to play football, but never never got too heavily into it.
No. So
No,
like
it was always just a
so
fun thing to do. It weren't as if I wanted to push it for a career or get really good at it. It was just a fun thing to do.
so when you say football, you're not talking about like what we see today
No,
as,
I'm talking about
here in America.
the game that you play with your feet and a
We
ball.
we call it soccer, while you guys
Yeah.
call it football.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's just what different people call it, innit?
I,
It's not too deep.
I mean, around the world it's called football, but then you get here in
Yeah, then you get
America,
to
it's like
America and it's like soccer.
we call it soccer. It's like what? Why?
I mean, at the end of the day, there are places in the UK that call it soccer. I mean, there's a football, like I don't know what you call it. It's like a almost a like training facility, I suppose. I don't know the exact word you call it, but it's called Soccer Factory. It's which you think would be an American-based thing because obviously soccer, but I suppose just different. It's what people prefer to call it rather than
I
a
mean, we
definite.
I mean, I know that the NFL is trying to get American football to go over to the UK more and more,
Mm.
playing these games in London and everything.
I think it'd be quite interesting to see an English American football team.
Oh my god, please
You know,
no.
I'd want
We
to see
don't need
how
that. We don't need that.
I want to see how they stack up because
No.
I personally feel like
God. Like
we with England, you know, we've got rugby, which is a very close sport to American football. I'd like to see how our players could translate into American football players. I think they'd either do really well or absolutely terribly, and there'd be no middle ground.
so when for me growing up, I played football, American
Mm,
football, and then like when I got into college, we didn't have an actual football team. We had a rugby club that we were starting, and I played for all of like 5 games, and then
yeah,
I ended up having to give it up for personal reasons. And it was like I could translate into it, but I played for all of like 5 weeks. That was it,
mm,
and didn't really learn a whole lot. I didn't learn how the game really played. I didn't learn
yeah.
positions. But my wife, I ended up marrying a rugby player.
Oh wow,
So she married a football player. I married a rugby player. That's just how it worked. And
it's crazy how things turn out.
yeah, she is a big fan of New Zealand. She loves the New Zealand
Yeah, the
team.
All Blacks.
Yes.
I will say I don't watch rugby too often, but when I do, I always enjoy watching it because it's one of them where I feel like if I watched it all the time, I get bored of it. But watching it
Right.
every now and again is amazing to watch, like the Olympics, for example.
Yeah.
You know, if they were on every day, you get bored of it, but it's once in a while to watch, it's amazing.
See, and I love watching soccer or
Mm.
football, and I watch the Euro Cup every 4 years.
Oh,
I hate watching the Olympics version because it's not as good, but I love
yeah,
watching
it's
like the World Cup and the Euro Cup
mm.
every year. I love watching them. They're great. It's good, fun entertainment.
I'll
But
tell
when
you
it
what, the atmosphere when either the Euros or the World Cup on, it's unmatchable,
on
you
what?
know? I mean, when the Euros or the World Cup's on, the atmosphere just around
Oh
the
yeah.
entire country it's unbeaten, you know?
Oh yeah.
I think the closest thing you can get to it probably is the Super Bowl or something like that,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
even then,
When it
it's
came to this year's Euro Cup, it just felt like the
oh, yeah.
energy. It felt
It
like,
felt surreal. It was
it,
amazing.
especially watching England versus Italy. It was
Mhm.
amazing. But my problem was is that I didn't get English channel. My commentators were speaking Italian.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what they're saying, but they're super excited. I can
Yeah, no, what
tell.
the English commentary on it was, it was good. It was heartbreak at the end, but at the
I
start when
was
Luke Shaw
so
scored,
sad. Dude,
it was amazing.
I wanted England to win it so bad just because it's like okay, so my current boss, the guy that I work for, he's from England.
Oh,
And
what part?
so when we were talking about the Euro Cup, I was like, "Hey, you going to be watching the game?" He was like, "Yeah, I don't know. They're playing Italy. Italy's really good."
Yeah, they deserve it.
And I was
They're
like, "Oh, come on,
100%.
dude. You need to watch it. You're from the country that and they're hosting it. They have a chance this year." He was like, "Yeah, I don't know." And then he was like, "Well, what's your favorite country that that you root for in the Euro Cup?" I said, "Scotland." He was like, "Oh God, you should have never said that." Oh, okay.
No, but there is that rivalry between, England and Scotland, but there's also that respect, I suppose, you know? I mean, if I saw Wales or Scotland or even Ireland win it, I'd still feel proud of them,
Well, they're all
you
a
know?
part. In my
There's
view,
that
they're
rivalry, but at the same time, we're all close to each other,
yeah. I
so
mean, you guys are all
it's
in
that
a way working together. As
yeah,
the UK, not just England, Scotland, and Ireland. You guys, the three countries, all work together.
yeah.
And
like I
that's
said, there's that rivalry because we're that local to each other. You know, when you think about it, it's
exactly
like it's I think the distance between Texas and I don't know what's the
Oklahoma.
state near Texas, Oklahoma. You know that's probably a bigger distance than it is between England and Scotland.
Well, I mean, you can't get a Michigander and a guy from Ohio to even work together on anything. We
Mm,
rather just chop our own dicks off
yeah.
and say goodbye.
Um,
We hate each
Sometimes
other.
you need that rivalry in life, but at the same time, if the other person succeeds, you've got to feel good for them no matter what.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude. So this year I'm gonna watch the Michigan and what? Oh my god, I just looked at the chat for 1 second. All right,
Oh, what's
so
happening?
I'm gonna be watching the Michigan versus Ohio State game, and like I got super excited when I saw that Ohio State lost their football game yesterday. I got super excited, and my wife is like, "Why are you so excited?" It's like you just don't understand,
Yeah. I mean, that's like me. I'm a massive Manchester United fan. So
right?
see teams like Arsenal not having a win until yesterday in the league, that brings a bit of joy to my heart.
I mean, I like the Manchester United club as well, but I
Mm,
can't ever find them on TVs. So I mean, I try and find news and stuff like that. I'm a big sports fan, so I
I
watch
love
all the
sports.
sports.
I
It's
mean, I
it's.
think it was last week that I was watching UFC
I'm not that big on
because you know,
UFC, but
oh,
when it comes to
amazing.
yeah, when it comes to the UFC for me, I'm not that big of a fan just because it's like I understand all this big hype around these big fights and stuff,
Mm.
but there's always money involved somewhere with Vegas.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like it could be rigged. Somebody could just give up. Or you won't
You
or like
it's I suppose it's
when
the same as
Conor
boxing, though, is you risk that, but
well right, when Conor McGregor broke his leg
yeah,
at
you
the end
can't
of the first round, it's like,
yeah,
"Oh my god, we're not gonna get to see the actual fight anymore.
yeah.
This guy's gonna win just because he broke his leg." And it's like all the talk and all the hype around it just for it to end that way, I was not happy. I was not a fan.
You do get disappointments like that, but I suppose 99% of the time, you're happy, and then you've got that 1% of the time, which is just, you know, you get something like that happen, but
Right,
it is what it is.
right.
That is sports, you know?
So, all right, let's get into today. Your life
Okay.
today. You know, you're going to college. You're in your second year. What
Mhm.
are you studying?
Music performance,
Music
which
performance.
is interesting to say the least, is a, course.
I mean, you're the second musician that I know of on the podcast, other than maybe
It
Sadie's.
was in Orange?
Orange, yeah, he plays
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah, I saw him play, the stage on Twitter, live on ShadowFlame, which was, it was cool to see someone else playing a song that you also enjoy playing,
I mean, that's
you
what
know?
that's more than just what us gamers all bring together. You know, we got
Mm,
Orange who loves music. He's in the military. Last week's guest, AM in the mornings, he's currently also in the army, just like Orange. While you two also have that same passion with music. Then we have Sadie's, who's, you know, she's the first female guest that I had on the channel. And then you got
mm.
Pure Green Creator. You two are in the lobbies together all the time. So there's another common factor with you guys. So I
Oh, yeah,
mean,
the entire community is connected in some way or another, for
exactly.
better or for worse, you know?
And everybody has these special moments with each other of, you know, being what can bring people together other than just what's the common
Mm.
interest? And everybody has common interest somewhere. And that's what's
Exactly,
great.
exactly.
So so that's your life today of you're studying musical performance. What exactly is musical performance?
It's, just getting to know the ins and outs of, what it takes to make music a career, really.
Okay.
So, you learn about the promotional side of it, you learn about, you know, being on stage, performing, and just learning the ins and out of the industry.
So you're pretty much learning how to be a rock star without just learning how to be a rock star.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, it's just
Trying
like
to, I'm trying to.
so in other words, it's like streaming because you need to learn how to actually stream before you actually just
Yeah.
you got to learn how to walk before you or crawl before you walk kind of.
Mm.
So I mean, you're not going to be in. Are we going to see ShadowFlame in a boy band?
Definitely not.
Are you sure?
It's the day hell freezes over is the day you'll see me in a boy band.
Can we get? So what's your instrument? What's your instrument that you play?
I do play guitar.
Guitar. So can we get you and Orange both playing guitar? We'll have my buddy, my old friend from high school. He'll be your drummer, and then we have Pure Green Creator as your lead vocalist.
You know what? I'm done.
There's a boy band.
Get
You're
it
in a
together, get it together, and you know what? That's the only exception I'll make.
you-
That I'll have.
you're in a boy band.
I don't care. That I'll have. That'd be amazing.
Oh my god, that would.
Could you imagine Creator on vocals? Oh my god,
I can only imagine. It'd be like,
it'd be amazing. It'd
it
be
would.
amazing.
It would. You guys wouldn't be a boy band. You'd be a hard metal screamo band.
Oh, could you imagine?
Because
Create,
I don't think
creator
create
screaming.
I don't think creator understands. You know, I can tell that he can rap with his
Hmm.
voice, and so it's like, all right, there are some heavy metal screamo bands that do rap as lyrics, and then that singer is also it's just screaming into the mic out of nowhere, like Emus or something like one of the top bands that I liked growing up. I feel like he could pull that off.
It's, it'd be funny to see. You know what? If when I eventually do go over to America for a bit, which is something I do want to do in the future, we'll if everyone's down, we'll get that together
Oh,
because that would be the most hilarious studio session ever.
all right, Orange, I know you're in the chat right now because I can see your name all over it right now. You and Nighthawk. How about Orange? You let me know when you're available, and I'll make sure ShadowFlame and Creator are available. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd
It'd
just be
be
cool.
insane.
So
But no,
we're
it's
go ahead.
go on, sorry. Oh,
Go
all
ahead.
right. With COVID being last year, obviously it was a bit more difficult to do the course because you can't really perform when you're at home and stuck at
Right.
home.
Right.
So, there weren't much chances to do gigs or anything. But hopefully this year,
I mean,
music recorded, gigs, all that should be on the way.
so you play in concerts while in college?
Yeah, the college sets them up,
Oh no shit. Okay.
which
You know
is
what? I like
really
that.
good.
So what what would you say is your favorite part of performing on a stage in front of, we'll just say a couple hundred people?
Just the energy. The energy
Just
of
the
it is amazing. It's the same as content creating. It's the feedback that you get and just the relationship with you and the community.
So
It's unrivaled.
are you nervous every time you're about to perform?
Oh, 100%.
You get so because you were saying that you were nervous on doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Were
But
so do you get nervous going into like, when you're about to record, you're going to record this video or you're going to stream or
mm,
you're going to be in this lobby with Nogame and all these people?
the Nogame lobby is not so much because I've done it so much that you don't feel it anymore. There's certain ones where you do. So if it's like a very special lobby, then you'll feel it. But with everything else, I think you need them nerves because if you don't have them nerves, then you'll mess up. Because if you're not nervous to do something, you're too confident in yourself.
Right.
You
I
know,
mean,
so you need to
I'll
give
be
you that
honest. I'll be honest.
confidence in yourself.
The last lobby that I did with you guys, first lobby, I did very, very well because thank you for helping me get into there as in the event portion. That was great. Um, and yeah, I made it all the way to the melee battle. But that second lobby, I just piss poor. But
Yeah, but
every time I've
that
ever
happens.
gotten into No Game's lobbies, I've always been super nervous and my heart starts to pump and I get really
Mhm.
sweaty and stuff like that. It's like not sweaty as in I'm gonna try and
Yeah.
win. It's a sweat as in I'm
Oh
literally
yeah.
dripping sweat on my body.
I mean, if you go back to the Black Ops 4 episodes and even some of the earlier MW episodes, I mean, you can tell in my voice that I was nervous back then.
Right.
But it's like anything. It's like riding a bike. The more you get used to it, the less nervous you feel to the point where it's just natural to do and normal.
Right. I mean, my first
Yeah.
time in a melee battle was on Modern Warfare. That's because
Mm.
Egg ended up helping me glitch in somewhere because you always need that second person
Oh
sometimes.
yeah.
So I end up getting into the melee battle and it's like I was super nervous. It's like this is my first time where I'm actually being spotlighted in a
Mhm.
melee battle. I mean, that wasn't my first time in a melee battle. I was in that lobby where we had everybody, every single person made it
Yeah.
to the melee battle. But being the first time that I actually am being spotlighted, it made me super nervous.
Oh yeah, you do end up feeling it, especially I've been on for an ultimate full flawless I think once, twice, and they can get you because then it's all the pressure's on you.
Right.
You know,
And then
it's not as if you're in a lobby with 4 people who are just gonna free for all and try and kill each other. No, it's all on you is the pressure, and that's what that makes the nerves run.
see, I would say like that one melee battle that we did just recently on Cold War, I was super
Mhm.
nervous because it's like, oh my god, this is my second or this is my first time being in a melee battle. Cold War. I haven't been in the melee battle in over a year at this point.
Yeah,
But I've done quite a few lobbies since. But it's like first time in the melee battle, almost a year.
yeah.
So
That's what I mean. Nerves can either be your best friend or your worst enemy because if you perform better with them, then
right,
it's like the perfect thing for you. But if you crumble and you do worse with nerves, then it's still a lot harder for you to get through things because you need to overcome them nerves every time you try and do something. If you learn to use them nerves to make you better, then you can do anything in life.
right. I mean, I was super excited that I even got to kill on baby. No
Mm.
offense to on baby, but it's like, oh my god, I killed one of the guys that could actually win these things.
I
You
mean,
know,
like everyone's got to start somewhere with it. I
I mean,
started on BO4 payload, and it was a no specialist lobby, and I did a slide glitch into the bottom of the stairs, and I think No Game said it was one of the worst glitches ever.
oh
You know,
yeah,
I,
oh yeah,
I came from there, and now I'm here. So it just shows that everyone starts somewhere.
oh yeah. I mean, I don't have the time to be able to go and try and find glitches like you on Baby and
Mm.
Creator do have. You guys have those times to be able to do that. So, let alone I don't even know how to glitch on Cold War. I see that
It's a mess.
you guys use the RC glitch, but I don't
I
know
can't really
especially
speak
how
for
to
that,
do
but
it.
yeah, it's a mess trying to do all that.
Right. So, let's get into that portion with no game.
Okay.
Obviously, we can't go too deep into all the behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
we can talk about some of the stuff. I do understand some of the behind the scenes being with you guys for as long as I have been and
Yeah,
playing.
you can pick up stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, what is the how do you guys are telling him like, "Hey, we know this glitch on this map. Can we try it?" Or how do you guys go about that if you can?
It's basically just the getting together and running through ideas. If you think you've got a very good spot for a thumbnail, um, then if it's a god mode spot and he can't kill you anyhow, then you'll send a bit of it, show it, and if obviously it's a good spot, it'll go, yep, fine, feel free to do it. If it's a terrible spot, you get shouted at for about 30 minutes, which is fun. But no, it all helps with it. If it's in non-God mode sport, then obviously you tend not to show anything because then it just ruin the lobby. You know,
So
if he can kill us, then if we show him where he is, then it just makes the lobby seem less genuine. If it's a God mode thing, you can show bits of it. You never show the entire spot because that'd get to the point where it just ruins it and it all seems fake. You know, you show a bit of something to see whether it's a good enough spot. But after time, you learn whether it's a good enough spot to the point where you don't need to send anything.
I mean, so Nogame has a semi ideas where you guys are, but not a clear picture.
He doesn't know where we are, but he knows the idea, if
Okay,
that makes sense.
okay,
So
so
say we want to do the latest video, Nuketown, under the manhole cover, yeah?
yeah.
If we send that, we'll go, what do you we'll send a picture of something on a different map, for example. So it might be a manhole cover, it might be something else. We'll send a picture of something and just go, what do you think of an idea of us getting into something like this? Yeah, so even if it's just a room under the map, we'll go, what do you think of an idea like this? If he gives it the green flag, that means, right, we can look for manhole covers, we can look for drains, vents, anything like that. So you send off an idea of something, and that's how you get the feedback.
Okay, so he has this. He
So
has
if
an
yeah,
idea. He just doesn't exactly know.
yeah.
So
So if
let's.
we send off saying, you know, what do you think about being under the map for whatever map we're doing next? And he goes, yep, like the idea of you being under the map, like under something. Obviously he will know we're under something, but he has no clue where.
Okay, so let's say let's take it for the last episode that we were in together on Nuketown when you guys went up to the actual freaking nuke.
Yeah.
So how did that go about? How did he says that he wanted to use that spot in the Finding No game and he ended up going into the bus. You guys knew that you wanted to go up to the nuke. How
We
how did you guys even get all the way up there?
I can't say the method, but it's a mixture of game settings and using certain things in game
Okay.
that messes it up and causes it to glitch out like that. But
Okay.
with that, we basically said, well, we knew we wanted to do that spot because we wanted to do it for Finding No Game, but couldn't figure out how to. So we basically said, because at that point it'd been on the clock for Finding No Game, and we said we want to do a spot similar to that, but do it even better. And I think he kind of obviously knew that we were going for something like the nuke or something like that. But we just say we want to do something that you know beat that. You know, get further out or get higher up. It knew it would be something like that, either getting higher up on the map or getting further out.
Okay.
And
So
that's
that
how it comes about.
that's how that came about for you guys. Okay.
Mm.
So what if you can, do you have any future ideas that you're already planning out with the guys?
I mean, I'm getting on probably right after this call and looking on a certain few maps for some spots, some that we haven't been to in a while.
Okay. So for the love of God, you guys do not post anything on YouTube about Vanguard. Please.
Yeah, made that mistake last year on Cold War, where in the
Yeah.
base I uploaded the Batman tools, obviously, which I got a lot of hate for. But you know, you live and you learn, don't you?
Do I live
If you
where?
don't make mistakes, how can you improve?
Well, that's the thing is I don't want you guys to post it because I want to be able to master these glitching methods at the start, and that way I can at least have some type of fighting chance here with you guys. 'Cause I'm sick and tired of running around the map because he'll
Like,
find me on these tiny little maps where
what I do like is with Vanguard anyhow, I feel like there'll be more interesting stuff to do. You know, like in MW, you had Right Shield lobbies, you had
Oh yeah.
um,
Oh
Juggernaut
my.
lobbies. I feel like in
I
MW, there's gonna be stuff like in Vanguard, there's gonna be stuff like that.
yeah.
Whereas
I
in
know.
Cold
I
War,
know.
there isn't as many that you can do.
Right. There's not these different types of things that you guys can do, but I will say that Nighthawk ended up finding a glitch in Vanguard first night on accident.
Oh.
And it was like, don't tell anybody.
Is it a method or just a spot?
It's a method. It's a method.
Oh,
He already figured out a method. And I'll give you a hint, it goes boom.
it goes boom. It's not using the death machine going up to a wall and shooting
No,
and then it
no, no.
glitches you through, is it?
No, 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 no. It goes boom. That's all I can give you.
Alright, I might have
Cuz
to search it. I've got an idea, which I think
yeah,
it is.
it it
I
it
don't want to say it on
moves.
stream.
Yeah, it moves. Here,
Yeah,
hold on,
yep,
hold on.
I'm with
Hold
you. I'm with you. I'm
uh,
with you. No, don't say
yeah,
anymore.
okay,
Don't say anymore. I'm
okay,
with you.
okay. Yeah, I know that you don't need a glitch to win because you pretended to be somebody else. Nighthawk.
No, but even then, like,
But
you know, if you look at me in lobbies, and I need to stop doing this now because I think Nogame's kind of caught on. But the end of MW, start of Cold War, I had this method where basically I'd hide in a corner, wait for him to run past me, because I'd be just out of sight, wait for him to run past me, and then I'd move to another corner that covers all the other angles. You know, so you just got to think of ways that he won't find you, which are not just hide in this spot, hide in that spot, run here, run there. You've got to think of smart ways to break out of that loop, which is difficult to do.
right, I mean the last lobby the one where I actually won in the second round.
Mm,
You can hear him in the video specifically say, "You weren't hiding there the whole time." Actually, I was hiding there about maybe 60% of the time, up until it was
mm.
like the final 5.
And that's what you need to do. I mean, I don't want to give too much away here, but you want to, off the start, normally, 9 out of 10 times, and you see it in the videos all the time, if people are running around, that's what draws his attention. So if
Right.
people are hiding, you know, he won't focus on them because there's moving objects, you focus on them first.
Exactly.
So if
And
you're hiding for like the first half, you probably won't die until at least 10 people are already dead. And by that
right.
time, you can run around because there's less people, so it's less eye catching.
Exactly. So when I actually did move that spot at one point, he was chasing somebody and I can't remember who it was, but he was literally ran right past me and you can see
Mhm.
in the video that my head is right there. And as
Yeah.
soon as they ran past me, I booked it out. I hid somewhere just so that way I could see where he's coming from and he went up into that spot to look. And
Yep.
I was like I moved and I'm happy I did.
A lot of times, if he's chasing someone and runs past someone who's hiding, he'll not. I won't say every time, but 70% of the time, he'll see that person, but he'll keep going for the person who's running. So if you see him run past you and you think he's seeing you, the best thing for you to do is move.
Exactly. In which if I see him run past me at every time he's ever ran past me, I have moved because I know his
Mm,
tricks. I've watched every single Okay, I have literally gone back and watched this man's videos from day one's videos.
yep.
And so it's like I've learned how he operates. I learned his cutoff moves. I've learned how he moves around. And that's why this is the second time I've won a lobby in the second round. Just
I
because I
think
got
second
I
rounds are the hardest yet the easiest to win, if that makes sense. Because
I totally agree because it's a
if
free for
you
all for
get
everybody.
yeah, if you get a lot of smart players in a lobby, it's quite difficult for you to win. But if you get a lot of new time players who just run around or hide in bad spots, it's very, very easy to win at that point.
Exactly. And that map with the shopping mall and everything,
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite maps to play hide and seek on. I love playing it there. The
Oh yeah,
last
because there's loads of different routes you can take, places you can just sneakily hide behind. It's a good map.
Exactly. And he caught me the first time I played in a Cold War hide and seek with him. That was the map we played on. And I tried to take the care package, and I all of a sudden became a meme in the comments in that video of I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And so it's like, oh man. Like I just realized I was in like the top 3
Mhm.
of people that could have won. And yet you guys were
One,
all
yeah,
glitching somewhere and I can't remember where.
the two best ways to get noticed in lobbies is either one, do really well,
Yep.
or two, be really funny. If
Yep.
you can master any of them two, that's how you pop off. I mean, look at Net, yeah?
He's
Hides in a chair, is funny, everyone votes for him. But then you look at, say, someone like me or Baby Creator, we're getting good spots consistently, and people vote for us. So if you come out and you do one of the two and you pick your strongest suit and go for that.
exactly. And
If
that's
you're
why
really good at being funny, be funny. Forget about the hiding and all that. That can come later. Focus on being funny. Get everyone's attention. Then you'll be brought out more for lobbies.
yeah, so I'm trying to I think I might have figured out something of just I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, or the last time it was no, 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 no. Like
Yeah,
you could tell in my voice, I was like, it sounded like I wanted to cry when he got me on
yeah.
that Nuketown map. And I
You,
think
you,
that's because every other time that I've ever played, it was
yeah.
always something sad. It was like, oh man, it really wasn't anything.
Like I said, you need that consistent thing. Once you build that consistency of doing something, people start to recognize it.
Oh yeah. You know how on my main channel I have the duck sound
Yep,
and I always go thank you for the cool and just gurgle a
yep,
little bit. That's literally what I'm probably gonna end up doing next time if I ever get in a lobby with Ducky because he's just like quack quack. I'm like
yep.
my quacks are better.
Like I said, I mean, with me on MW, I had the glitch guns for a while,
Oh
and
my
that made
god,
me
those guns were so weird, man.
that made me quite popular for a while in the comments, which was a good thing. But it's because I had that consistent thing that I could always fall back onto.
Yeah, you're always like, pick up my gun, pick up
Mhm.
my gun. You were very quick with it, so there were times where people didn't understand what you were saying, and he was like,
Yep.
"Oh, pick up his gun. It was Shadow." And it's like,
Yeah,
what the hell?
exactly. You need that thing to constantly go for,
Yeah,
because
and
that's what audience appreciate.
yeah. So with the Cold War customs, you can only max out at a certain number of people. You are the
Yeah,
reason why Nogame and Swifter can do their lobbies on Cold War with multiple different people.
yeah. Well, obviously um with that it was found by a bunch of people that you could save um game modes you shouldn't be able to save basically. So like combined arms, 26 player game modes, you shouldn't be able to save them in the game. There was ways that found out that you could save them. I figured out that if you put one mode over another and glitch them together, it keeps some parts of one mode and some parts of another. So it kept, for example, the player count of combined arms, but it also kept the team deathmatch game mode as a whole. So you put them together and it gave you the perfect mode to do hide and seeks on.
So when it comes down to the actual customs, you gave me those custom, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
So, but you know how my customs are. I talk with everybody. I don't have the power like Swifter to be able to use Discord because not
Mm.
everybody in my customs likes to use Discord. I mean, I might get
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 people that will actually do it. Where you got Nogame who doesn't talk with everybody. He's by himself. He can do that.
Mhm.
So I I mean, yeah, you brought me those customs, but then the chat
Yeah.
the chat box breaks and it's like, well, no point for me to do it.
But
But
like I
then
said, the
but you gave
unfortunate thing is it with free for all modes, it caps at 10 no matter what.
right, and I was
I've
actually Exactly, and that's why I started doing different types of things on there, like, we're gonna do this kind of game mode, we're gonna do that kind of game mode, stuff like that,
Mm,
but it didn't work out for me, and that's why I quit customs for a very, very long time. It's just because it didn't work for me.
yeah. Like I
And
said, unfortunately with free for all, it's got this inbuilt cap in the game which stops it at 10.
right.
Because I mean, for Swifter, for example, for Cell, I tried doing that since I think it was just after or just before Christmas. It was that sort of time where I started it, and it weren't until I think it was April that I got something down that was good enough to run. It weren't free for all because it was still I think it was 10 teams of 4 or something. No, not 10 teams of 4. 10 teams
You
of about 3 or something like that.
you ended up figuring out something with with the sellout lobbies, for
Yeah,
sure, which was that would still be something that I wanted to try and pull off, but again, I would have to use Discord. So
exactly, and
it wasn't viable for me to be able to
yeah.
use Cold War for customs. But I'm hoping with Vanguard I can go back to how I could run it that way in Vanguard, how I do on Modern Warfare. Otherwise, my customs are gonna die. I have no
I feel
choice
like
but to
with
kill it
with
off.
Vanguard, because it is the Modern Warfare engine, you will be able to do it.
Yes. Oh my god, you just made me the happiest man. Now you gotta break the game for me.
I am 90% sure you will be able to have 48 player free for all.
All right, so customs are going to be a regular thing again on Vanguard.
That
Says
it will
ShadowFlame.
100%
Aw,
20 player free for all will be in that game.
thank God. That would be that would make my day, honestly. So, let's talk about your future. Do you plan
Okay,
on going back into making YouTube videos again?
100%.
Do you plan
Um,
to stream more often? Do you stream on Twitch?
Streaming is it's a bit of an awkward one at the moment because it's one thing I do want to pick up, but at the same time I don't know where I want to go. I don't know whether I want to go down the YouTube side. I don't know whether I want to go down the Twitch side. I'm lucky enough to be monetized on both, so it's not as if I'll go, all right, I'll go to Twitch because I can make money off that. I'm lucky enough to be able to pick either one, which I know quite a few Twitch content creators unfortunately aren't able to. So I need to make that decision first of which one I want to carry on, and then that's where I will hammer out. Because at the moment I do a few on Twitch here and there, and then I do a few on YouTube, and it's just not. There's no consistency to it. I need to find that one that works for me.
Pretty much just to be on a consistent schedule
Yeah,
almost.
and just not have it where, for example, one week it'll be YouTube, one week it'll be Twitch, and then some people can't make it to Twitch, some people can't make it to YouTube. I need to hammer on just one.
Right. So you're gonna try and figure out these special things, and like,
Yeah,
because we all know consistency is key, but so is also just having a schedule, so that way, if, in case people
exactly,
can't make it to one type of stream, maybe they can make the other.
exactly.
So, well, with that, we are gonna open up questions for ShadowFlame via the chat. Our numbers dropped for some reason, but I wanted to
Charlie
give
Wilkins
the
about to be out.
I gotta give the shout out to Vesmi, Viking, Waifu. I refuse to call you by this name. Jeff, Savage Orange, Katashi, and Monkey Boy Live, all for the follows within the past 24 hours. Um, Thank you guys. We are almost halfway to the point of our 50, but I don't ever feel like we're gonna make it still yet, and I'm okay with that.
No, you'll make it to the affiliate.
I don't plan
Like
to.
I said, it's no, you will though, you will. Like I said, it's just it will take time, but as long as you believe that
I
we'll talk about this later. As long as you
the
believe in yourself, and I mean
I
truly believe in yourself, anything can happen.
we'll talk about that part when we go into the den overtime, the after talk.
Yeah.
But I'll just say that there's things that might be changing with it. There might be some different.
Mm.
So if anybody's got questions that are in the chat, you're more than welcome. to ask him now, but we'll talk for a little bit and just try and figure out things. Like, what do you think of Vanguard?
It's divided me. I can't lie to you. It has. I kind of love it and hate it at the same time. Um, Obviously, I think the game plays well. You know, there's things that you expect to go wrong in a beta, but as much as I love the actual gameplay side of it, I feel like the glitching community that we had in MW, for example, in Black Ops 4, all them games, I feel like that is well and truly gonna be gone for good in this game. Which it breaks my heart a little because, you know, them times were I that's when I first started off, and I'd argue, the best parts of the last, what,
Right.
it's been 4 years, you know?
Right. And I mean, it's like, I've seen a lot of people come and go since I started
Yeah.
playing in the lobbies in BO4. There's no more Ali, there's no more Mr. Take Your Scar, there's no more Brad's Bullets. You don't see the consistency of like Bonham. Nighthawk shows up maybe once a month at this point, but that's
I mean, that just got
timing.
that yeah,
That's
that just comes
that's
down to some people can't make it, which it sucks, but it
exactly.
is what
But
it is.
but he changes up how who's gonna. It seems like every title, somebody ends up making a splash, and this is what they can do, and
Mm,
that's amazing. That's amazing because he's actually featuring new people. And
yeah.
we do have a question.
Oh, okay.
Who is your favorite glitcher besides yourself?
Oh, see, this changes per Call of Duty. I mean, at the moment, I mean, Glitch Hunters is done amazingly this year. You know, is some of the stuff that he's found in this Call of Duty has been
No, I'm saying like
top
who.
10.
I'm saying like who is your actual favorite person? Who's your favorite
Oh,
glitcher?
person wise.
Yeah, person wise.
Oh, um, I mean, obviously we've got Creator and On Baby. They're amazing. But then outside of that, if we're talking people currently doing it, um, I mean, you've got all the UK crew. They're amazing. You know, you've got UK Bops, J-Mac. But that's because we share the same, you know, connection.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
guys are
we're
all
from the
from.
same parts, and it's yeah. So you've got that.
I would have to
But
say
then,
for personally for myself, I would have to say it would be Ali. He was always he just because I know that he found most of the glitches with him and
yeah,
Mr. Take Your Scar. Um, and then also we have a connection. We use the same person to make our thumbnails.
yeah, you use oh, I forgot
Astronaut.
his name now.
Astronaut.
Astro Ray's in it, or something like
Yep.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I so me and him we connected on Fiverr, and then he actually ended up having his Fiverr shut down. His Fiverr got
Oh.
shut down. So when he told me about that, like, dude, I still want to use you. We can just do this one on one personally, and I'm gonna, shout you out, this and that. And when it came down to it, he got noticed by Ali, he got noticed by Vader, and
Mm.
he's been getting noticed more and more and more. And he's busy. He's a busy man.
Thumbnail artists are great. The only issue is, I'd love to have one. The thing with my content is I need to, if I find, say, a glitch tomorrow, I need to record, upload, edit, all that stuff before anyone else finds it, which can literally be a matter of hours. So I don't have the time to wait for someone to go through and do all that, unfortunately. So it's yeah, I'd love to have one, but I've got to do everything myself for the moment.
Right. He's actually pretty quick. I can DM him at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, day of video, where it's like, hey, this is gonna
Yeah.
be posted in like 12 hours, and he'll have it for me. And
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
doing
there's
so. I mean, he's doing a lot with for me as well. And it's like, dude, you're making this, you know, you're helping me more and more with this channel than
yeah. I have the utmost respect for all thumbnail artists because, you know, from doing it myself for the last, well, 3 or 4 years, you know, you can see literally the progression on my channel of me going from a screenshot in a game to fully edited, fully ready to go, you know,
right,
half decent thumbnails type thing. Even though I
right,
won't say I'm amazing at them, but
right.
I can respect the effort that goes into them because I know what it's like.
Uh, yeah. I mean, making thumbnails are not the easy. But we have one more question, and then we're gonna
Mhm.
wrap it up here.
Cool, cool.
What is your favorite COD? Personally, mine's Modern Warfare 2. That was the first Call of Duty
Oh,
that I played that game in the prime, and it will forever be my love.
I've probably got two. There's Modern Warfare 3 because that's the first game I ever, well, first Call of Duty game I ever played. I think I had it on the Wii, which was a weird experience. You know, now that I play on console, I understand how weird it was. But back then, because I didn't used to have a console, I ended up um, basically getting my parents to buy it for me because I was like everyone else on the street has it. You know, we all of them are enjoying playing it. I know I'm knowing it old enough to have the game, but you know, can't have it. And I eventually managed to talk them around into getting it there. I remember just playing it for hours and hours on end and just loving all the maps, even
So,
the co-op sides. It was
so
amazing.
MW3, so MW3 for you, MW2
And
for me.
yeah, there's
We're
also Black Ops 3 though, because that's my favorite ever zombies
oh
experience.
my god, no! I hate
I love
BO3.
that
I
game.
hate it. I hate the jetpacks.
No,
I hate jetpack Call of Duties.
I will
Personally,
say the
I'm
campaign
look.
was terrible. The
I'm half.
multiplayer and the zombies though were
I,
amazing on that game.
I'm not a zombies person. Okay. So like I was halfway pretty darn decent at BO3 multiplayer, but
Yeah.
God, do I hate jetpacks? I hate them. Hate them. Hate them.
I was
Just
terrible at BO3 multiplayer. I was
God,
the worst player in the world. I think that was back when I used to play 2020 sensitivity as well, which was I could not do that if I wanted to today.
God,
I
no.
I, I think it was from Advanced Warfare to I think it was till about World War II or Black Ops 4. I used to play max sensitivity all the time, which looking back, I don't know how I did it because now I play 6.6 or 7.7.
Oh
But
God. Hey, are
I
you looking at?
understand why I was so bad.
Are you watching chat?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you get to answer that question.
I mean, we'll see. I've got to do a few things after this to finish it, so we'll see about that, Xander.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna we'll go into the den overtime. If you guys are on YouTube or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you guys can actually listen to Spotify, the den overtime is after podcast kind of talk. You know, get their thoughts on the podcast, stuff like that. And you can only see it live at twitch.tv/Wolf Den Podcast on Twitch. So, with that, you guys, we are going to wrap it up here. Stick around if you guys are here on the Twitch channel. We are going to just do a little chat, and then we're going to move over to the main channel. So,
Mhm.
all right. Any advice? That would be the last thing. Any
Any
advice
advice?
for upcoming content creators or even people that are thinking of getting into content creating?
No matter what you do, be consistent at it. Because as long as you're consistent at it, you're constantly putting out what people want to see. And that's the most important thing. You've got to be putting out what people want to see. If you upload 5 different videos and one of them does really is one and say they all the rest get 2 and one gets 7 views, yeah? Whatever you did to get that 7 views, you do that again. because that's what people want to see over the other stuff. If one thing does really well, you do that. You keep doing that. You hammer it home until it blows up.
couldn't have said it better myself, dude. Seems like a lot of us all have the same exact points and the same exact,
Mhm.
you know, when it comes to this grind. All right, we'll see you guys on the other side, and I will see everybody, or you guys will hear me in the next podcast, and I will catch you guys in the next one.
Music on the beat.
That went well. Cool.
Get ready for the podcast. I address anything on my mind. On time with the lines and the lyrics rhyme. And you know you can press rewind. Yeah. Get ready for the podcast. I address anything on my mind. On time with the lines and the lyrics rhyme. And you know you can press rewind. Podcast, you can talk what you want to say. Here go the microphone, we can talk all day. I got time to listen to your thoughts. Feedback, just let the man talk.